Hello, I'm Dr. Hope Crenshaw, Executive Director of Teen Health Mississippi. I'm a product of the Mississippi Delta, and I'm on the Delta Action Team. If you're joining us here today, welcome. Each of us here today shares a common goal: to strengthen the systems in the Delta to promote youth thriving. Whether you're from far off or from down the street and around the corner, your presence speaks volumes about your belief that equity matters, that youth deserve to thrive, and that all of those things can happen right here in the Mississippi Delta. The Delta Action Team is comprised of youth, BIPOC-led youth servant organizations, and community leaders. In our short existence, we have had many discussions, individually and collectively, about what we, as people born, raised, or working in the Delta, can and should do to support our youth. We each represent various communities, each with their own strengths, resources, and challenges. And despite the distinctions, there are many commonalities. So, allow me to give voice to messages we've heard from the mouths of youth and adults living right here. Number 1. In the Delta, effort is in no short supply. People simply go out of their way for their communities. From teachers, community leaders, youth servant organizations, and faith initiatives, we are genuinely some hard-working people. Yet, there is agreement that we need to strengthen systems and to find ways to encourage our many systems to collaborate and cross-collaborate so that every young person gets full access to the information and resources they need. Number 2, we need strategies that are responsive to the distinct challenges and opportunities each community possesses. So, whether a community seeks to strengthen schools, provide mentoring opportunities, improve health, or employment opportunities, we need a collective strategy to share wins and scale up successes across systems and across county lines. Number 3, that if we were honest, power hasn't been built with youth nor with communities in the Delta. Youth and communities are seen as recipients of services rather than influential leaders. We need a new paradigm. Youth and communities need safe spaces where they are not only able to speak out, but be heard. Youth should actively participate in shaping the decisions and policies that directly affect their lives. Why? Because youth are creative. They have drive, and quite frankly, they have all the energy to help us respond to challenges. Number 4, while we're on the topic of tough subjects, both organizations and communities have been siloed, whether from geography, approach, desire for accountability, or scarce resources. We need to move toward a more trusting and healing-centered framework that allows us to build together and to work through our differences to really break down these silos. We also need a specific Delta-focused organization to help us coordinate across systems. Number 5. Okay, this is a tough one. Brace yourselves. Whether public or private, funds often bypass grassroots entities that include BIPOC-led organizations, those who are closest to the problem, and those who can support system change in a way that furthers cross-collaboration. We need to move toward a more equitable funding system to support trust-based philanthropy. Number 6. Are y'all still with me? Good. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the elephant in the room, the role race has played in the Delta. Access to information and resources in the Black community has been restricted due to systemic barriers, including slavery, segregation, discrimination, and economic disparities. We desire to work with communities of color directly to build power. We desire to involve young people in the Delta to build systems they will be proud to pass on to their own children. The strength of the voices we've heard highlights a very important realization about the Delta. We aren't waiting for Superman to save us. Rather, we see the solutions as coming from the youth and the adults inside the Delta. In light of the collaborative ideas, the Delta Action Team proposes a 5-year plan to create an intentional civic infrastructure that accelerates systems change in the Delta. We kept coming back to the idea of a hub and spoke model that would best facilitate collaboration and resource sharing across the region's 13 targeted counties. We envision a network with a hub in each community or county, where youth, policymakers, advocates, schools, and community groups together can prioritize specific local needs. That those systems errant in every community, whether that be healthcare, education, infrastructure, economic development, recreation, are all the spokes that feed into each local hub. However, we believe real system change begins when synergy develops between the community hubs, when obstacles are identified early and wins are celebrated and expanded. Thus, we propose a central hub housed in an initial anchor organization to connect counties and provide communication, accountability, technical assistance, and capacity building to facilitate knowledge sharing and problem solving within and between all 13 counties. It would allow every stakeholder to connect with policymakers, funders, investors, and those looking to come home, where transparency, communication, and accountability leads to more initiatives being funded at the grassroots level, because at the heart, community wins. The team has also identified several emerging priorities. The first being educational system, where we're transforming education systems through evidence-based paradigms, including the community school model. Number 2, family and youth and young adult wellness and well-being, where we address the needs of families, the very first system a young person encounters. Number 3, career and technical pathways, where we are linking youth and young adult to specialized training, mentorship, and experiential learning opportunities to empower them to excel in diverse fields. Number 4, regional economic prosperity, where we're emphasizing job creation and expanding opportunities for both current and future residents of the Mississippi Delta. You see, system change takes time to see measurable results. Therefore, we've outlined a 5-year plan to establish the hub and spoke system and to begin this work. But rest assured, we're in it for the long haul. This begins with the planning and design phase, where we're co-creating the vision together, followed by an implementation phase where we're creating safe spaces for youth and adults to collaborate, also while acknowledging their contributions through compensation, and finally expansion, where we're launching into new communities. And while our end goal is to create systems where youth thrive in the Delta, the impact of our work has a much farther reach. Building trust and accountability through transparency and equitable resource sharing. Healing and fostering a village-centered approach to youth-led initiatives. Building power by redistributing power back to communities and elevating youth voices. Rest assured, we need all hands on deck to build a future where every young person's potential is nurtured, where every community thrives. So, get ready to roll up your sleeves and ignite those passions. Our journey begins today.